Before watching the video, don't forget to subscribe the channel and enable bell notification to never miss an update from us.
Hello everyone, good morning all of you. This is Ashima and in this video we'll be talking about the daily current affairs or daily news events. And the discussion is going to be a bit of in details so that you get an overall idea about the news event. So this segment is more of a detailed segment but for those who want to practice questions as well for examination. So if you want to practice the objective questions, we have everyday quiz at Entry app, which is free of cost. So you can download Entry app from Google Play Store, and over there you have everyday current affairs quiz, which is updated about 10 to 15 questions to help you keep in touch with the format of questions as well. Right, and it has multiple languages as options, so you can opt for whichever language you prefer, and that is going to help you keep in touch with the news events. Right, and for detail segment, we have it right over here. So we'll be talking about the news events now. The first one is Central Investment Clearance Cell. Now, why is this in news recently? The reason of it being in news and what exactly is there. First of all, it is going to be launched in April 2021. That is, you can say a layout has been prepared, but the launching is going to be in April the next year, and it is a integrated part of, or you can say it is a act as one stop digital platform. What does this mean? It will help obtain all the required clearances and approvals via single platform. Pre-investment advisory is going to be there, and all the information regarding the land banks, facilitation of investment at central level and state level, all of these information will be provided on a single platform. So single window system is being created, and this is being done by Ministry of Commerce. Ministry of Commerce and Industry is the one which is going to work out on this system. And the idea, or you can say this project, was initially announced in budget 2020-21. So in 2020 budget, the idea was proposed that a central investment clearance cell should be there, which will act as a one window stop for all the information regarding the investment in whichever place it has to be done. Right now, even the potential investors can interact with the ministries for all the required approvals on this single platform. So this cell will first of all provide, you can say, advisory, and it will facilitate the investment, but apart from that it will also help them interact with the ministries that are associated with it. Now, which are the states which are initially going to launch it? So, they are the recent ones, or you can say the quick joiners, are going to be Haryana, Telangana, UP, Goa, Odisha, and Gujarat. These are the states which are going to be the initial ones to join, because these cells already have GIS enabled land bank. Right, and how do they already have it? They have it under Industrial Information System. Industrial Information System enabled GIS land bank is already functioning in all of these states as mentioned above. So for them to join the clearance investment cell, central investment clearance cell, is quite easy. Now, if we talk about the industrial information system, first of all, it is of DPIIT. DPIIT. So this whole system is of DPIIT, and this is all functioning under Digital India Initiative. Right. So since we are saying that it is something related to central clearance cell, so what does it have? It is again a one-stop solution for trades and investors for accessing the industrial information. So since these industrial information, being that raw materials, about horticulture, about agriculture, about terrains, about natural resources, all of these information is already provided. So a similar model is what they require to set up for the other segment which we are talking about, that is investment, land investment. That is the reason that these states who already have it are going to join in quick, whereas the other states will have to develop them and might take a bit of time for joining in this cell. Right, so what is important? The states that are going to join Industrial Information System, who has launched it, and when was this announced, or when is this going to be launched on an official basis? Next is India's first lithium refinery. Where is this going to be set up? It is going to be set up in Gujarat. Where is the investment going to come from? It is going to come from Manikaran Power Limited. They have already announced 1000 crores to be invested for this refinery. And apart from this, there is a Neo Metals firm. Neo Metals firm. Now, Neo Metals is a firm of Australia. It's an Australian firm, Neo Metals, and Manikaran is Indian firm. Both of them have come into an agreement to provide lithium or produce lithium in India also. Where is the ore going to come now? Lithium is a rare element. It is not found in India. So recently, there was a pact which had happened between India and Bolivia. First of all, we will be talking about Australia later. First, Bolivia. In 2019, we had come to a pact with Bolivia. Right, and it was in April 2019 that lithium carbonate will be provided to India from Bolivia. Now, why Bolivia? Because Bolivia has 1/4 of the world's lithium reserves. So, country has not yet begun commercial production, but this whole lithium carbonate that we are taking, it is going to help us or act as a backbone for FAME project of ours, which is faster adoption and manufacturing of hybrid and electric vehicles. Now, as for this refinery is being set up, for this particular refinery, if we talk about, ore will be taken from Australia. So this is for refinery only. That is why we have tied up with New Metals. New Metals is an Australian company, and the refinery will get ore from Australia, right? Now, where is the demand? Now, since we are saying that lithium is not already being produced, so where is the demand of lithium? Lithium demand is majorly in renewable energy for electrification of transport or electric transports that we are creating, e-vehicles that we are creating, and for storage of renewable energy. So, renewable energy is stored via lithium cells, and the electric transport or electric vehicles they are run, and those devices which are created, they use lithium as a primary component, right? Now, if we talk about electric vehicles is something which we are planning to increase to 30%. India is planning that about 30% of the vehicles which run in India should be electric vehicles by the year 2030. So we are already increasing the number of electric vehicles, and if we're increasing the electric vehicles, they will require lithium ion batteries. So lithium ion batteries are going to be there for these electric vehicles. Currently, we take these batteries from China, from Japan, from Taiwan because we do not have lithium. And if we take lithium and we manufacture them, they are going to be more expensive. But now we are moving towards it's a make in India, and that is the reason why we are creating our own refinery also over here, right? Then, moving to the next event, that is coal import monitoring system. Now, what is coming out of it? First of all, government of India is going to implement coal import monitoring system. Now, what is this monitoring system? That is that whatever imports are being done in India regarding coal, whatever you can say information is there regarding whatever packets are coming in coal, all of that has to be made online, right? So that is the whole idea behind this coal import monitoring system. Now, importers of bituminous coal, of anthracite coal, of coking coal, of steam coal, all the forms of coal are going to be monitored under this system, right? So all the imports, whatever imports are happening, all of that information has to be submitted online. And even the dumping of these products, basically steel products as we say, so all the steel products monitoring is also going to be done by India. So an advance submission has to be done about the registration number so that coal imports can be monitored as to where are they being imported from, where are they being imported from, right? And in fact, it is also going to have the registration number, the expiry date of registration, everything has to be there in the bill of entry. When will this system come into force? It will come into force on 1st of February 2021. So as of now, it is not coming, but soon enough it is going to come up, right? Now, if we talk about why this system is important, it is basically that this whole system will help us keep a record of all the amount of coal that we are importing and the grades of coal which are being imported, right? That is the major purpose behind it. Then we have COVID-19 vaccine market dashboard. Now, who has created this dashboard? It has been created by UNICEF, right? And we have a whole program called COVAX that you need to have a tab on. So, first of all, this system has been launched by UNICEF and it is going to help, or you can say it is going to enhance in the system of ours with COVAX. So COVAX was already created, was this facility was already functioning. So helping the COVAX facility to work better, this whole COVID-19 vaccine market dashboard has been created, right? So what is going to happen on this dashboard? All the regular updates regarding all the research that is going on all around the world, then all the bilateral and multilateral supply agreements that have been done, how much progress has been done for the COVAX facility, and the details of the deliveries by UNICEF of all the COVID vaccines. All of that is going to be happening or being updated on this dashboard, particularly. Now, so basically, the fair and equitable access of COVID-19 vaccines, which is the target of COVAX, for that purpose, this dashboard has been created to help enhance the target of COVAX. That is, equal distribution should be there of the vaccines, and everyone should get vaccines by 2021. Right now, if we talk about COVAX, it is a vaccine pillar of ACT accelerator, or what is now ACT accelerator. COVAX is a facilitator or an idea of ACT accelerator. Now, what is ACT? That is access to COVID 19 tools accelerator. So, access to COVID 19 tools accelerator, which is a global collaboration to accelerate the development, production, and access of COVID 19 diagnostics and medications, right? Who has developed this? This whole COVAX project is being led by Gavi, which is Global Alliance for Vaccine and Immunization, and CEPI, Coalition of Epidemic Preparedness Innovation. And for the part of COVAX, United States of America is not a part of COVAX. United States of America has decided not to join that. Right. Then Himachal Pradesh integrated drug prevention policy. Now we have seen a few policies which are being done for prevention of, you can say, gender related crimes, or you can say porn related crimes, but now we have a drug prevention crime which has been, for that a policy has come up in Himachal Pradesh, right? Now, uh, according to this policy, there's going to be an integrated drug prevention, treatment, management, and rehabilitation program, which will soon come to force. According to the policy, this program is going to come ahead soon enough in the coming time. Right, then police, media, and Nasha Nivaran Board, all the three have to come into cooperation, and this policy is going to bring them into cooperation. So for that purpose, 6 drug de-addiction centers are going to be opened in Himachal Pradesh. Then a standard of operating procedure will be framed, which will design as to how the person has to be treated when someone is found as an addict, or how the de-addiction has to work. So a standard is going to be set up soon enough, which will help in deciding as to how the procedure should go when someone is drug addict, right? Then there are going to be lots of drug awareness campaigns by urban local bodies, by Panchayati Raj institutions, by NSS volunteers, NCC cadets. All of them are going to be integrated into it. State Narcotics Control Board will also be enhanced, or it is going cell is going to be given more powers. Then the main focus of this whole policy is for drugs which are derived from plant sources, being opium and cannabis. Right, so drugs which are derived from plants, they are going to be the primary focus. And SSB, Sahasra Seema Bal, has also been deployed to address the issues of high altitude regions, right? Then how to educate children on that part. For children, in the school syllabus of government schools, this drug abuse, harmful effects of drugs, all of these things are going to be integrated into the syllabus, right? and large number of drug peddlers are from neighboring countries, because of neighboring states, because obviously when a state is being affected, the neighboring states are also going to affect it, or being affected because of it. So joint initiatives will be launched between the neighboring states also, so that the drug trafficking can be controlled or stopped, right? Then Digibox. Now, this is a new application or a cloud storage system which has been launched by India, and this has come after Google had announced that they are going to. You can say Google had announced that they are going to reduce the storage, and they're not going to make unlimited storage available for photos, right? So for that purpose, Digibox had been launched after that. In this is a file sharing and cloud storage platform, so they are giving 20 GB of free cloud storage as compared to Google was giving 15 GB, and they are going to give 20 GB of free cloud storage, then 100 GB free space per month, that is at the rate of 30 rupees per month, whereas Google gives it at uh, about 200 rupees per month, right? So this is going to be the benefit of this, right? Then this whole idea of Digibox promotes Make in India, Store in India policy, which will also help in preventing the leakage of data, as we say, or you can say the data which might be shared to other platforms, so that national security and localization of data is being helped via this Digibox. Who had launched it? It was launched by Niti Aayog CEO. And who is that? That is Amitabh Kant. So Amitabh Kant is the Niti Aayog CEO, and he had launched this whole platform. Now here we have said that it is a cloud storage and file sharing platform. So cloud storage, we have already seen how much storage is there, but for file sharing there is a feature called InstaShare. Now this feature will allow sharing of high resolution images, of PDFs, of large documents, all of these, and from the storage space, the retrieval can be done for another 60 days. After 60 days, the data will be deleted permanently. Now, Digibox currently is for Android users only, and there are special plans also launched for this purpose. Now, what we have to see over here is how much storage is being provided, and InstaShare, which is about file sharing quickly. Then who had launched it, and Make in India, Store India policy, which it is promoting over here. Then India's first hot air balloon safari. Now, this is for the first time it has been launched. Although balloon movements are a lot of allowed, tourism is done, but safari is launched for the first time. Where has it been launched? It has been launched in MP in Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve. Only in the buffer area it is going to be there as of now, and it is going to be operated by Sky Waltz company, which is a Jaipur based company. So Sky Waltz is going to run this whole balloon safari thing. It is being launched in Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve in only the buffer area, and it will be launched in Pench Tiger Reserve and Panna Tiger Reserve as well, but right now only in Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve has it been launched, right? Now, if we talk about Tiger Reserve, Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve, what is its location? It is in Satpura Hill Range. We are talking about Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve. It is in Satpura Range, and it has evergreen sal forest, which is very, very important, because now Bandhavgarh National Park and Tiger Reserve has become very, very important. It being the first place to have launched this balloon safari thing, right? Now, apart from that, a few one-liners like Reserve Bank of India has cancelled the license of Subhadra Local Area Bank in Kolhapur, and this was because minimum net worth was not being maintained for the previous 2 quarters. Then, Odisha Chief Minister has announced the construction of largest hockey stadium in India in Rourkela, because 2023 FIH Federation International de Hockey Men's Hockey Cup will be held in India. So 2023 Men's Hockey Cup will be held in India and Odisha, and that will be held in Rourkela and Bhubaneswar. So in Rourkela, India's largest hockey stadium is going to be constructed. That is very, very important. So Odisha's chief minister is important, and when it is going to be done, that is important. And where is this going to be constructed? That is important. Then first Indian vaccine against pneumonia has been developed by Serum Institute of India. So it's important as to who has developed it. That is Serum Institute of India. Then Serum Institute of India is also running a few COVID trials. COVID vaccine trial of is also being done by Serum Institute of India. That is in collaboration with Oxford. So the name of the vaccine there is important, and Serum Institute of India head has been recently awarded as important people of Asia. So for that, the head is important. Then MP State Cabinet approved Religious Freedom Bill 2020. That is, anyone cannot be forced to change the religion, or religion conversion of someone without their will not be allowed, and imprisonment and a fine of about 25,000 is going to be put forward if someone tries to force the conversion of religion in the state, right? So this has been announced for Religious Freedom Bill 2020. Then India will become fifth largest economy in 2025. In 2019, we had become in the top five. We had overtaken UK, but then we dropped again and have become sixth. So now we are soon to become again, as per the recent predictions, by 2025, India will soon become the fifth largest economy again. Over here, we wind up the segment. Thank you so much. Hope this segment was helpful, and hope you've gained information about it. So we'll see you in the next video or the next day. Until then, goodbye. Take care and have a wonderful day ahead.